And this video will show you how to use the law of attraction with journaling to finally attract what you want. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, we're going to be speaking specifically about how to use the power of journaling to really attract what we want. Now normally I could make this video, I could share some of the things that I know, and this is a question honestly I've had quite a bit on the channel, is how can we use journaling with law of attraction? But what I thought I would do instead is bring on my buddy Clark Kegley, who has a great YouTube channel. He is mainly focused with the personal development niche more so than anything else, but he has a great perspective when it comes to the law of attraction, and more specifically he has some great videos on understanding how to use journaling. So what I thought I would do is bring him onto the channel, have him explain how we can use journaling with the law of attraction, just to give you guys that much more value, because I think a lot of the concepts he's going to share with you really have a powerful impact on your life, and especially when it comes to journaling. So I'm going to go ahead and link Clark's channel down below in case you guys want to check out his content over there. He's got some great content. And then I'm going to bring on and introduce my buddy Clark Kegley right now, who's going to show and share some epic content with you guys. Peace, much love, namaste.
Hey, thanks for the intro, Aaron. We'll try our best to make this as epic and fun as possible. Hey everyone, I'm Clark from refusingtosettle.com. I also have a YouTube channel, and today Aaron asked me to come on and talk about something that I think is one of the coolest things out there. Now I might be biased because I've been doing this system for about 6 or 7 years, but it's been the one thing that's really stuck. It's been the one thing that's bridged the gap between all this self-growth stuff we read about, and if you're on this channel, I know you're into the law of attraction and bettering yourself, and the actual action component. I really think it's the missing link. What is it? It's a method of keeping a journal. Now, when I just said that, I bet a lot of things went through your mind. You know, some people think of journaling and they think of keeping a diary, right? Something that, you know, back in the day you would write about, I kissed a guy or I kissed a girl, and hide it under your mattress and God hope your older brother doesn't find it to make fun of you, right? That's not what we're doing at all. Other people hear a journal and they think it's stiff and boring and something crazy cat ladies do when on a rainy day. That's not what it is at all. In fact, I'm gonna argue that it's one of the best tools you can use to transform any area of your life. And it goes hand in hand with the law of attraction and bridges the gap between attracting and doing. So I got a video on that for you, and then at the end, I'm actually gonna open up my personal journal and walk you through kind of inside my mind, how I'm doing it, so you can set up and get started directly after this video if you wanted to. But before we get into that, let's talk about why we should even journal. What are those benefits I promised you and the epic content in this video, and what it actually looks like. And then I'll show you the how. So why should we journal? Well, the first thing is that it's a tool. Would you diet without exercising to lose weight? Yeah, you could, but when they are paired together, they work so much better. Would you have a relationship with no quality time with that person? You could, but if you pair them together, it works a lot better. Would you have a business with no plan or goals or results? You could, but when they're paired together, it works better. All these methods that go in tandem with each other. So would you have personal growth, success, goals without a method to track it? Pair them together, and that's what your journal is. It's the tool that glues everything together. Second reason why we should journal is because it's a way you can coach yourself. Get this, over the last decade, the self-improvement industry has grown to over $10 billion. Seminars cost $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 even. Some online courses are charging that much. There's life coaches who charge $400, $500 an hour, $250 an hour, whatever it is. But what if you could coach yourself? What if you could become your own coach? What a journal is it's a way you can do this. It's a way you can stay motivated with yourself and coach yourself on your goals, which I'll show you in a little bit. It's a tracker. Now, I'm not saying you'll never need to read another book again. I'm not saying you can't go to seminars or even hire life coaches or whatever you want to do. But what I am saying is that this is a great way you can kind of be your own coach and track your own progress. Now, I never thought I'd be the journal dude on YouTube talking about keeping a journal, but it blew me away when I posted the first video on this, and it got over 200,000 views. And I created more videos because people demanded it. They said, Clark, we want more journal content. And so over 500,000 people have seen the journal series on our YouTube channel. And I get emails and photos every day of people using this method that I'm gonna share with you and how it's transformed their life, how it's changed their life. People started reporting that they had more confidence, that their mental focus really honed in, and that they had all these affirmations and they felt kind of like they were coming out of thin air and they had no way to apply it. And that when they were able to incorporate the journaling method, that it all started clicking. Things fell into place over time. The last reason why we should keep a journal: success leaves clues. That's a quote by Jim Rohn. If we want to be a successful writer, we'd probably read our favorite authors' writing style and model after how they wrote their books. If we want to be a successful golfer, we'd probably watch, Tiger Woods and see how he swung the ball, see where it went, see his rituals. Well, if we wanted to be a successful person, wouldn't it make sense to model after the most successful people of all time? Yeah, it would. Get this. People who have kept journals throughout history: Oprah, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Einstein, even modern day billionaires like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, they've all kept journals. They knew the power of it. I think it was Bill Gates who even bought 8 pages of Leonardo da Vinci's journal for like $30.8 million 20 years ago or something like that. So there's so much power in this tool system that's been used throughout all of time. Success leaves clues. If we want to be successful, we can try some of the methods that these people have used over time to become successful themselves. So what is this method? So what I want to do now is turn this camera around, go over to my desk, and actually walk through this journal with you and kind of break down what this journal will look like and how you can actually start using it every single day. Let's do that right now. Okay, so welcome. Here's the walkthrough. I'm gonna show you right now. This is my 2017 journal, but I have been doing this for many years. There's my 2013 journal, 2014 journal, 2016 journal, and 2015 journal. A lot of people ask which ones I prefer. I guess gear-wise, this is a Pentalic 8.5 by 11 sketchbook. I like sketchbooks for your journal because there's no lines to stifle your creativity and it's just really open. First thing you do is you buy your journal, it's $7. You write your name on the spine and you write the year. I like swapping it out every single year, so it's kind of a year-long log of your well, actually, let's dive into it and show you. The very first thing we do in this journal is we go to this. This is the cover. Now, if this looks like a mess, let me explain. Right here you have, your name, and you have your big ideas that make up you, your fundamentals, what you are. Right here I have my strengths. Martin Seligman was a founder of Authentic Happiness, studied thousands and thousands of people because he's like, hey, why is it that we're so good at studying depressed people and what makes them up to baseline? But when it comes to taking baseline people and making them happy, we don't really have any research. And so he distilled down everything into one sentence: know your strengths and use them often. That if you can use your strengths in service to the world or yourself, you're gonna be fulfilled, you're gonna be happy. I was in Alaska and there were sled dogs who were running and they just got ran for like 10 miles at a time and they were super, super happy. Some of the happiest dogs I ever saw because they were getting used, they were getting worked to their strengths. So I think it's the same thing with us. But you have to know what your strengths are. 23,725. Now this comes from a concept on my channel of 32,850. Guess what that number is? That is the amount of days you have from birth until 90 years old. That's a lot less than we thought, huh? If you had $1 for every day you lived, you'd only have about 32,000 bucks. It's not very much. So we got to maximize those days. They're less than we thought. So I like to write that there. It's not morbid. It just keeps me in focus and in check that, I only got 23,000 days left or something. All right, so that's just an example of what you do on the front cover. Basically, whatever you want to see, boom, and constantly be reminded of, similar to like a vision board. If you're familiar with that concept, you'd write it here. And then right here, the next front page are a bunch of quotes I like to live by are big lessons I've learned throughout the year. So manage your energy, not your time. You know, I commit to giving value before a single dollar exchanges hands, just business stuff. One of my favorite quotes, I saw the angel in the marble and I carved until I set him free. Michelangelo on the statue of David. You know, so just big picture stuff right here, any quotes you have. So we'll get into the meat of the journal in a little bit, but it's really cool, this tracking system I want to show you. So let's go to the back cover now. Now, if this looks like an absolute mess, I promise to you, it makes sense. So at the beginning of the year, I like setting goals in January when I swap out this journal in 3 areas: work, rest, and play. A lot of people have really complex goal setting processes and seminars and all that stuff. I mean, this kind of looks more complex than it is, I promise. But you want your goals in the back of your journal so you can always track them throughout the year and check them off. Now, you don't have to set year-long goals. These can be month-long goals, week-long goals, half-year goals, whatever, and constantly track them. So the concept of work, rest, play is kind of like a triangle. You know, if you have too much work and not enough rest, you're going to burn yourself out. If you have too much play and not enough work, you're going to be bored. If you have too much rest without enough work, you're just going to be a sloth. So life is right there in the middle. It's in the balance. So you need all 3 of these goals right here. Now your work goals, these are your business, your wealth, any sort of numbers, analytical stuff you want to do, put it up here. Your rest goals, these are personal goals. Things that you want to achieve, maybe in your health, maybe in your learning, maybe what you want, how you want to grow as a person. That's right there. And then your play goals, this is fun stuff. This is contribution, travel, adventure. You know, I went on a trip around the world with my girlfriend I saved up for. Went to like 9 countries in 7 weeks in 49 days. A trip of a lifetime. And it was because we planned it in this journal right here. And then I have a book list of things that, books I want to read. Just set your goals in 3 areas and keep them tracked in the back of this journal. Over here, it's not too important. It's just challenges and courses that I wanted to take this year. Let's get into the meat of the journal. So what do you actually write in this section right here? Now it's about 100 pages. And this is where I call it the 6-in-1 journaling method. So I felt like turning the camera around and talking to you. A little background on what I'm about to show you, the meat of the journal. I remember I was in college about 7 years ago, and I was just getting into self-development really extensively. You know, I was watching the TED Talks, I was going to seminars, I was researching, I was obsessed with it. And I had a health journal to write all the health stuff down. And then I had a vision board and affirmations and visualizations that I would write down, and gratitude journals. I had some psychology journals where I'd learn these big ideas and get so inspired and want to write them down. And I had like 5 or 6 different journals, and it hit me one day. Why don't I just combine all of these into one journal? Why don't I just divide up one journal into 6 sections? It's so much more manageable, and it's so much more sustainable, and it's all right there. Now, what I'm about to show you, you do not have to do, okay? Remember, one thing I always tell people who send me emails about this system and everything is they're so stressed out about it. They say, okay, how much do I need to journal every day? How much do I need to write? What do I write? They have all these questions. There's no right answer. It's completely custom to you. If you want to journal once a week, totally fine. Some months, if you don't want to journal, totally fine. If you want to journal every single day, incorporate it into your ritual for every morning, that's great. It's whatever you want out of it. Don't stress yourself out with this journal, because that's gonna make you resent it. That's gonna make you not wanna do it. It's gonna turn it into a chore. It should always be from a place of inspiration and not a place of obligation. That's what I always say. All right, stepping off the soapbox, back into the journal. What is it? Choose 6 sections that are important to you and take about 20 pages or so and divide your journal up into that. And keep 6-in-1 journals. So for example, in this, I have a gratitude section where I write all my gratitude journal affirmations. Okay, that's one section. I have a business section where I have all my business goals. That's another section. I have a book note section where anything that really sticks out to me when I'm reading the book, I put in that section. You know, or as I'm reading the book, something I would highlight, I would put in that journal right there. And then you can go through year after year and see all the books you read condensed into like 1 page or half a page. How powerful is that? I showed you the goals tracker. I showed you the front covers. I have a video and online notes section. So if I'm learning from videos like this, I love YouTube videos, I'll write that in my journal in a section so it doesn't get confused with the other ones. You might have a finance section. If you want to get in control of your finances and track things, great, put it in there. You might have a health section where you track your health and wellness. And really, you know, if you're researching it, if you're a student of health and wellness, great, put it in there and start researching it and putting all your big ideas in there. Whatever it is, there's no right or wrong here. It's custom tailored to you. Now I'll flip this camera around and walk you through a sample page or kind of inside my mind a little bit before we wrap this video up, just so you have some more grounds to stand on when you take action of this. So here's an example. So I like to, again, allocate about 20 or so pages. 6 sections is a good place to start. 5 is okay too. And this is my growth section, so I call it business. So what do I want to achieve in my business? I set all my business goals in here and I track them. I set all the information I learn about my business in here and I track them. When I get an exercise from a seminar or a book, I do it in this section and then I can flip to it automatically and it's right here. Here's just a quarter page on 4 books that I really liked. Just some big ideas from them. So here, the one thing. The concept of dominoes, that, you know, it can knock over something that's 50% larger, and that's what momentum is. And so dominoes, you know, if you stack them, there's really no limits to how much bigger you can get them. Cool concept that when I flip back to, I'm like, wow, I can really use that in my life. Or the 5 love languages, you know, what they are, to revisit them. Public speaking, talk like Ted, stumbling on happiness. So just quarter pages for each book, and you write down some big ideas, so now I can flip to them instead of reading the book again and being like, what was that again? You can just come here and do it. Right there, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Another entry on it right here, and so you just write notes from the book. Pretty self-explanatory, but definitely powerful. Okay, here's a section I did, and I don't use it much anymore. It's called a brain dump. Need to fill in those letters there. And this is where, you know, it's easy to be positive when things are going our way. But how do we show up when things are hard? When life really, you know, shit hits the fan and life does a 180 on us? Here's a good spot that you can go to and just vent. So I have about 10 or so pages of where I just vent if I need to, get it off my chest. Because, you know, the more you hold it in, sometimes that's worse. That's like holding your breath, and your blood pressure goes up when you're working out, and you can actually get injured that way. It's the same thing with like negative events. You know, if we hold it in and we clench our fist and we get so caught up in it, our blood pressure goes up psychologically for not even just days, but weeks and months. You know, that's some people carry around things their whole life. So this is a great place you can just vent. And you don't want to do it too much, right? Because then it turns negative. But years later, you can flip back on some of your old journals, look through the things that used to make you angry, and laugh at the problem instead of getting mad at it. You know, you can actually see how much you've grown and what problems used to stress you out, and that they're not stressful anymore. That's it. I hope this video was helpful. I had a blast sharing this method with you and kind of geeking out over my little journal system for you. If you want, come on over and subscribe to my channel. We have tons of content like this. A huge thank you to Aaron for having me on. It's a blast. I love your channel, man. We were on a call the other day talking, and he told me he posted a video every single day. And I was like, how on earth do you do that, man? How do you post a video every single day? I'm struggling to post 2 times a week, and he challenged me to do it, and so I took him up on that. So come on over and subscribe, watch the challenge live, hold me accountable. I'm not planning on missing any days, but in the rare event I do, let me know. Have at it. I give you full permission to harass me on Instagram or Twitter. I'll link up a best of playlist right here if you want to go over and get started immediately. If you like this video, comment down below. I'll be pretty active in the comments. I love hearing from you, and until next time, stop settling, start living. See ya.